Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing great. It's Mr. Montgomery again with another lesson. So we are still on Unit 7 right now. We're going on to the next lesson in Unit 7. So this is lesson number 3, or you might see it in your book written like this. We're on lesson 7-3, but that's more for the teachers to know. But all you have to make sure is that you are on page 293. Or we would say 293 because we have a 2 in the hundreds, we have a 9 in the tens, and a 3 in the ones place. Okay, so if you do not have page 293 open yet, please pause the video, hit that space bar, pause it, open up your workbook, or as I like to call it, the robot and turtle book, to page 293. And on that page, you will see this 100 chart covered in ladybugs and some sort of other pink bug, I think. I'm not too sure what that is. But if you have that page open and you're ready to go, well, we're just going to roll along with it. And we're going to see what they say at the top of this page. It says, pick a number. Well, I'm going to pick the number for you, okay? And it says, write the number in the box. So I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to write it in this box for you. And we're going to do this quite a few times. We're going to practice with some different numbers. And you'll see why we're going to do that in just a second. It says, how can you find the number that is 1 more? So I'm going to pick a number, and you got to figure out what number is 1 more than that. But here's a really cool thing. You can use this 100 chart on here to help you, because you guys all have this 100 chart on your page as well. So it says write that number, and then write the next 3 numbers after you figure out the one that's 1 more. So in total, we're going to have to figure out the next 4 numbers, okay? But we have this awesome 100 chart to help us out, which is the coolest part. It just makes our life so much easier. So let me go ahead and take away all these numbers I wrote down here. Okay, so let me just explain one quick thing. Okay, so on a 100 chart, if I were to give you the number 21, well, you know it's in the 20s, so you just kind of go down the side here until you see the numbers that are all in the 20s. Boom, found it. And then if it was the number 21, well, you just look for the number, the 20 that has a 1 in the ones place, right? So we have a 2 in the tens, we have a 1 in the ones, so it makes 21. Now, we've been practicing these numbers with our day count since the beginning of the school year, okay? So I really hope that your teacher, if you're not in my classroom, that they have been practicing counting numbers and days of school with you all year long, so that way you're very familiar with these numbers already. All right, so, or if I were to give you the number, let's say 62, well, we just kind of go down the side till we see the 60s. Remember, 60 has a 6 in the tens place, right? But we said 62, so it's 6 in the tens, and we need that 2 in the ones for 62. All right, and then once you find that number, you're just going to look over to the right. You'll see that the numbers get bigger going that direction. See, you start off with 61, then 62, 63, 64, 65, all the way to 70. But once you hit the 70, you have to make sure you drop down and go back to the beginning. That is super duper important. Do not forget about that. Okay, so we're going to practice a few of these. I'll give you guys an easy one to start. Okay, so I'm going to give you the first one will be find the number 13. Okay, and then write the next 4 numbers that come after it. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. It shouldn't take you too long, especially since we're starting with a very small number right here. Okay, if you need more time, hit that space bar, pause the video. I'm going to continue to move on because I feel like most of our friends would be finish this pretty fast. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to find the number 13. Boom. We know that the first row is all of our ones, right? It's just a row of ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing in the tens house. Once we reach the teens, right, we know that there is a 1 in the tens house. And then, since it's 13, we need a 3 in the ones. So 1 in the tens, 3 in the ones, we get 13. The next number that comes after that is 14. So I'm going to write 14. Then after that, 15. Now, I know I'm drawing on my chart because I can erase it very easily, but please, it might be best if you don't draw on yours, okay? Because you can always use this 100 chart anytime you need it. So make sure you put a bookmark or something on this page in your workbook. Okay, and then we need the next number after 15. What's one more than that? Hop on over and look at that. It's 16. This works just like a number line, guys. So if you know your number line and how to use it well, this 100 chart is going to be a breeze for you. Okay, and then one more after 16 is 17. Okay, so the next four numbers after 13 are 14, 15, 16, 17. Pretty straightforward, right? Pretty easy. So let's jump to a more difficult number to start with. So now I know that you all wrote on the spaces on that page, which is fine. What I would like for you to do next is just, you can, right underneath it, you can make another little box. That is the number I'm going to pick for you. And then you can just write the next four numbers afterwards. And don't forget the little commas, okay? All right, so the number I'm going to pick for you guys this time is, let's pick a higher number. Let's do 72. So I want you to go ahead and find the number 72 on your 100 chart, and then write the next four numbers that come after it. Okay? So I'll give you guys a few seconds to do that. Okay, if you are not done yet, that is okay. Hit that spacebar, pause the video, take your time. When you're ready, hit the spacebar again. For my other friends that are finished, we're going to continue. So first thing we have to do is find the number 72. Since we know that the 70s start with a 7, we just kind of go down the side here till we find that 7 in the 10s. Boom, found it. Then I go over and tells you that 2 in the 1s, and it's right here. Found it, 72. The next number that is one more is 73. So I can write that down, 73. And then the next number after that is 74. Next number after that is 75. I'm sure you notice that the only number that is getting bigger is in the ones house. The tens is not changing right now. After 75, we have 76. Now, I'm sure you're all probably thinking this is some pretty easy stuff. You're like, Mr. Montgomery, why are we doing this? This is just so simple. Well, sure, it might be simple for you. If it is, that's awesome. But there is something that can be a little tricky. Like if we get the number 59, you're probably thinking, well, that's not a big deal. We know the number 59, and we know the numbers that come after it. But just hear me out for a second. This will be our last practice one, right? So I'm going to make a box here. I'm going to put the number, see, 57. And I want you to write down the next four numbers that come after it. I want you to try this one on your own. Go ahead. Number 57. What are the next four that come after? Okay, if you are still working, that is fine. Hit that pause button, please, the space bar. Hit that spacebar, pause the video. When you're ready, then unpause the video. So let's go over this one real quick. We have number 57. Let's solve this. So let's use our 100 chart. We know it's in the 50s. So we're going to go down the side until we find the 50s. Boom. We know we're in the 50s because there's a 5 in the tens house. Then we go over till we find the 7 in the ones house, which is right here, 57. Now we just kind of do what we did before. Look over 1 to find out the next number is 58. And then one number after that is 59. And then one number after that is 60, right? Not too bad. But then, look, we can't go over to the side anymore. There's nothing there. What on earth do we do now? Well, if you were paying attention to what I said at the very beginning of the video, once you reach the end of a row, you have to drop down and go back to the beginning. And then that gives us the number 61. Boom. That's all there is to it. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to turn our page. Okay, so the next page that we are on is page 294. That is just, it should be one page turn away. If you need to see what the number looks like, here it is. I'll zoom in a little bit. 294. If you are not on that page, please pause the video. If you are, we're going to keep on rolling. And there's something important I want to make sure I show you on here. Now on this page, on page 294, they give you another little 100 chart right here at the top. Okay? Now I know it does seem a bit smaller. So if this is too small, you can always turn back just one page and look at the slightly bigger 100 chart that we just worked with. Okay? So either one, if this is easy, or if you're able to read this one okay, you can use this small one on top of the page. If it's too difficult for you to read, please make sure that you use the one on the other page. Or if you still have the one I sent home with you at the beginning of the year, or if your teacher sent one home with you, you can also go ahead and use that one. So let's take a look at this page. Let's see what they want us to do here. So again, we're just going to be counting forward by ones, and they give us a starting number or maybe a number that's in the middle. And we can always use the 100 chart to help us out. Okay, so you can see for number 1, they start with number 14, and then they wrote 15, 16, right? We can just fill these in, 17, because he already did it for us. Where's the fun in that? And then 18. And remember, since these are in the teens, that's going to be the second row on the 100 chart. So let me zoom in just a smidge here. Okay, so right here, go down 1 till you see those teen numbers. Find 14. Okay, and then you just go ahead and look at the numbers that come next. 15, 16, 17, 18. And you know, it's that simple. Don't overthink this, guys, okay? Do not overthink this. So now I would like for you to try number 2 on your own. Now they start us off, okay? For number 2, they start us off with the number 21. I would like for you to write down the next 4 numbers that come after 21. Use the 100 chart to help you. Go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, now if you are all done, awesome. If you are not, that's okay too. Pause the video, hit the space bar, and just give yourself as much time as you need to finish this. Okay, so let's find 21 on our 100 chart. Gonna just go ahead scrolling down so we get to 20s. Boom, right here. And look, 21 is the very first number. So I'm just going to circle that real quick. After that, let me zoom in just a little bit more. Okay, so after that, we have the number 22. So we can write down 22 right here. After that, we have 23. So we can write down 23. After that, we have the number 24. And after that, we have the number 25. Now, some of you might be thinking, Mr. Montgomery, I know how to count on by ones without needing a 100 chart. If you do, I mean, that's awesome. But we're just making sure we do these with the 100 chart just so we understand how the 100 chart works, and practice always makes perfect. Okay? So please just do your best using the 100 chart just so you get familiar with it, because later on, if you need it, when we start adding tens and stuff like that, the 100 chart is going to be your best friend ever. Trust me on this. For you to try number 3 on your own. Now, they are starting with a much larger number. They are starting with the number 103. And you might be thinking, oh no, this 100 chart stops at 100. I know, it's okay. Hold on. Gotta try to shrink this down again real quick. Now, over here on the right side at the top of your paper, they continue to the bigger numbers all the way to 120. So you can use this 100 chart at the top right side of the page to help you with number 3. Okay, so they give us 103. What are the next 4 numbers that come after it? Okay, if you're still working, that's okay. Hit that space bar, pause the video, and then take your time. Whenever you're ready, hit the space bar again to resume the video. Now what we're going to do is we are going to find the number 103 on this 100 chart over here. So we're going to keep kind of going down the side until we see the 100s pop up, which means there are 3 numbers, okay? And so I see 101. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because that's where the 100s start. I'm going to go over till I see 103, and it's right there. I'll zoom in just a little bit for you. See? 103, and then now we can just kind of jump over one at a time and find the next numbers that come after it. So after 103, we have 104. Next, we have 105. Then we have 106, and then 107. So now I can go ahead down here and write those numbers in. Oh, you know what? Let me just make sure I get rid of that red circle up there. So 104, because we just checked the 100 chart. Then 105, 106, and then 107. Now for number 4, they're trying to be pretty tricky, right? They're trying to trick us a little bit. So for number 4, instead of giving us a number to start with, they are giving us a number that is just in the middle of this number sequence, because they think they're being all funny and silly and give us a number right in the middle. That's okay, because we still have the 100 chart to help us out. So for this one, you're going to tell me the 2 numbers that come before 49, okay, and then 2 numbers that come after 49. Okay, so I'll give you guys a minute to go ahead and solve this one on your own. Don't forget the 100 chart is at the top of the page to help you out. Don't forget about that. Okay, if you're still working, hit that space bar, pause the video, go at your own pace. If you are all done, well, we're going to go ahead and check this out. All right. So we have to find the number 49. So I'm going to zoom in on our 100 chart here. Okay. Go down to the 40s row right here. Found it. I go over till I find 49. It's right there. Now, the two numbers that come before it are 48, and then 47 comes before that. So, we can actually go down to our numbers down here, our sequence that we're solving for. And we just solved it with our 100 chart. So before 49, we have 48. And before 48, we have 47. Now, we just need the numbers that come after 49. So guys, don't think you have to do this all in one go. Do it in little steps. Do it in little steps. All right, so we're going to go back up to our 100 chart. All right, there we go. So now, next number that comes after 49 is 50, right? But then, oh man, there's nothing that lets us just keep going to the side after 50. What do we have to do next? Well, if you remember what I said towards the beginning of the video, once you hit the end of a row on our 100 chart, you have to drop down and go back to the beginning. So after that, we have 51. Okay? So now we know the two numbers that come after 49. So I'm going to go back down to problem number 4 here. So after 49, we have 50, and then 51. See how I did that in steps? I just did the numbers that come before 49 first, and then my second part was that I did the numbers that came after 49. You know, do whatever works for you guys. Don't think that there's only one way we can do all these problems. Now, if you are not in my classroom, and you have a different teacher than me, then make sure you stop the video here and ask them what they would like for you to do next. They might have a different activity than me planned, okay? So go ahead, stop the video, let your teacher know that you have finished it. Now, for my class, what we are doing next is we are going to our Google Classroom, right? Click on the classwork button at the top. And right here it says 7-3. And there are 5 questions on the Savvas website for you. Okay? 5 questions. After that, you may go on Pink Cat, play some games, and have a little bit of fun. All right? So, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out a lot. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.